Some 1500 years ago, under circumstances largely unknown to us, somewhere in northwest India, several thousand words were arranged in a more or less unified composition. The language of these words was Sanskrit, and they were arranged in versified form. Over the ensuing centuries, these words attracted to themselves a number of designations, the most popular ones being Devi Mahatmya, Durga Saptashati, or simply the Chandi. Through the years, these words have been elaborated upon in a variety of ways, in both word and deed, in commentary and liturgy. They have been inscribed on individual hearts, that is, they have been memorized. They have been written down in more graphic form in manuscripts. Eventually they appeared in printed editions. Judging from the volume of the manuscript evidence, these particular words have been enormously popular through the centuries, and they remain among the best known devotional words in contemporary India. Although this text is woven quite naturally into the fabric of the 5th century Markandeya Purana, the Devi Mahatmya or the Chandi has also had a tremendously vital, independent life. In the Devi Mahatmya, we have the first discursive account in Sanskrit of the goddess's role in the demise of the Asuras, Madhu and Kaitava, Mahisha and Sombha and Nisumbha. Mythological accounts of the encounter between these Asuras and various deities are known with varying degrees of richness and detail prior to the time of our text, and there is some evidence to suggest an earlier association of the goddess with one or two of the myths. But to our knowledge, there is no antecedent occasion on which the three myths have been recounted together as a group, or the goddess has been portrayed as instrumental in effecting the divine triumph in all three encounters. It is instructive to note that these myths are more than mere tales of blood and gore. These are allegories specifically designed to convey certain fundamental Vedantic principles.
What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give you, if we only had like 2 minutes to explain what the Chandi was, I'm going to give you the cliff notes, all right? It's what we call the cheat sheet. So before we used to take exam, if you didn't study for the exam, look at the cliff notes and then try your best. The first question that arises in the Chandi is what causes attachment? There are two characters, Surata and Samadhi. They have knowledge of what's causing them attachment, yet they experience pain. They can't let go. What causes attachment? What's the mechanism behind attachment? Why can't we let go of the things that are causing us pain and suffering? If I were to ask you, why did you come to spiritual life here? Why are you here right now? There is something that has brought you here. What's the question or what's the problem that needs to be solved in your life? So, these two people, Surat and Samadhi, talking about their sense of attachment and the pain they're feeling from attachment, go to a sage, Meda. And Meda says simply, the cause of attachment is Mahamaya. She's deluding us, but she can also remove it. Then the next question is, well, what are the ways she's deluding us? Meda says 3 ways. In the first story, the first way she's deluding you is through ignorance and fear. And when that happens, you develop the Madhu Kaitava personality. The second way she's deluding you is through the need for power and control. When we feel the need for greed, fame, domination, guess what happens? You develop the Mahishasura personality. The third way she's deluding you is through the need for pride and recognition. And when that happens, you develop the Shumba Nishumba personality. Now, the next question that follows up then, well, if she's deluding us in these ways, can we do to remove that delusion? Simply, in the Chandi it states, through worship and prayer. When you're feeling tamas, what do? Chant the Brahma Stuti to awaken Vishnu, your own consciousness. When you are feeling rajasic and feeling the obstacles of rajas, you invoke divine rajas so that all your fragmented consciousness starts to be coalesced, unified, singular, and the divine starts to manifest. When you feel the effects of even sattva, yes, sattva, there are obstacles. Chant the aparajita stuti, the Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu, to see the divine in all her manifestations, in all her forms, to remove even the last impediment of sattva, so that you can merge into the divine. Now, the next question is then, how does she manifest? Well, in the first story, she manifests as Kali, to cut the delusion and to awaken your ego. In the second story, she manifests as Lakshmi, the rajasic aspect of the divine, to give you abundance, to give you what you need, so that you can ripen and mature that ego. And in the third story, she manifests as Saraswati, to give you knowledge. For what purpose? So you can finally cut that ego. It doesn't serve a purpose now in your interaction with the divine.
मधुकैटव विध्वंसी विधात्री वरदे नमः रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जहि महिषासुर